Undeterred, telling stories, sharing thoughts, one topic at a time. Hi, this is Undeterred by Ken, and welcome to the podcast. If you're keen about certain topics, such as the arts, politics, community, and culture, then this podcast is for you. Join me as I talk about these things and share some of my insights in the hopes that I could inspire others to share their stories too. For today's episode, we will be talking about the 25 things you should learn by the time you reach the age of 25. Many of you might be as clueless as me on how to swiftly live your life in your 20s. Know that you are not alone. We're in this together. Worry less because I rummage through some insightful things to guide you in living your best quarter life. I searched the internet and stumbled upon Thought Catalog, a self-help blog which is written by a community of creators based in New York City. They publish digital magazines and limited edition books. You may visit them at thoughtcatalog.medium.com. Surely you'll find most of their articles entertaining and helpful. Without further ado, let's start going through the list. Number 1. Appreciation for the fact that we all move through this world differently. Everyone has different factors playing into the way this planet will treat them and the way they'll experience their lives. Be willing to listen to others who may have a different vantage point than you. Learn from them. Number 2. An understanding that traveling doesn't necessarily make you a better person. You don't have to shell out major cash on vacation in order to be a more well-rounded person. Read a book you'd never considered reading before from your local library. Learn a new language, research and understand your country's political system, volunteer, etc. There is definitely value in getting out of your space to shake up your perspective, but it's not the only route. Number 3. Faith in your ability to survive despite people leaving. Because people will leave, sometimes in painful ways, sometimes because you simply grow apart. That's just how life works. Whatever the circumstance, you need to believe that you can be okay without them and that another's presence will never define you. It's okay to grieve, be sad or angry, but ultimately learning to let go gracefully will be one of the best things you do for yourself. Number 4. A few well-loved books to reread during difficult times. Because sometimes there's nothing better than curling up with an old favorite. Number 5. You can't control what happens to you, but you can choose how you react to it. Shit happens, and learning to be emotionally resilient is something you absolutely deserve to learn by the time you turn 25. Number 6. There is no substitute for hard work. Don't be afraid to work your ass off, be that for your career, your health, your wellness, or your relationships. You'll become more disciplined and stronger this way. Number 7. But there's also no substitute for taking time for you. It's okay to unplug. It's okay to take breaks to stretch your legs. It's okay to take a weekends off to regroup. The office won't burn down. Your emails will get answered. You can get healthier. Your friends will still be there if you need some time alone. So, take a second and breathe. Number 8. Your parents are getting older and are only going to age more. Spend time with them. Number 9. Hangovers are only going to get worse. It's true when they say hangovers get more hellish the older you get. Sorry. Number 10. By the age of 25, hopefully, you will learn what a healthy relationship looks like. No more chasing those who don't want to be caught. No more saying you're okay with behavior you're not okay with. No more depending too much on someone else and vice versa. Number 11. Accepting that it's okay to not be where you want to be. In fact, it's a good thing. Think of it this way. Life would be a hell of a lot more boring if you were always where you thought you should be, never having any goals or anything to strive for. Number 12. An ability to want to evolve, but to also be loving to who you are now. You can appreciate where you're starting from and love who that person is while still aiming for self-improvement. You don't have to change out of self-hatred because you couldn't become the person you want to be without having to be the person you were before that first. Number 13. How to listen without just waiting for your turn to respond and or talk. This will be one of the best things you do for your relationships, yourself, and this world. Number 14. How to disagree with your friends while still supporting them. Your friends are going to date people you don't like, make choices you don't necessarily agree with, and live their lives in their own way no matter what you think or say. Unless if it's truly detrimental to their well-being, love them and support them anyway. Number 15. How to put the phone down and be present. Instagram can wait. This moment can't. Number 16. Your weaknesses. You are not perfect. You're human. It's okay to have weaknesses and shortcomings. Knowing what these are will actually help diminish their effects. So being aware of what is difficult for you will only help you, not hurt you. Number 17. Your strengths. Self-awareness goes beyond your weaknesses too. Know what you're good at. Know where you excel. Know your strong points and then use those to your advantage. Number 18. The truth that only you can save yourself. No one or nothing else. Number 19. Waiting for someone to love you back is not romantic. It's self-destruction. It's not going to turn out the way you hoped it would. Let them go. Number 20. Love isn't everything. It's a huge part of life, but the relationship will never truly define you. It's okay to want companionship, but it's toxic to think another person will make your life complete. A solid partnership will add to your life, not make it whole. Number 21. Your standards. By now, you should have a clear understanding of what you want, what you don't want, and what you'll tolerate, as well as what you can do without. Number 22. The art of choosing your battles. Not everything needs to be acted on or acknowledged. Sometimes, it's just not worth the energy. Number 23. Some years will be harder than others. It's the insights that you take away from those hard times that will make them worth it. Number 24. You don't have to love yourself perfectly before someone else will love you. Love yourself first is shitty advice because it's a lifelong journey. If we all had to love ourselves perfectly before someone else could, then we'd all be alone forever. Number 25. People aren't thinking about you as much as you think they are. They're mostly thinking about themselves, just as much you're mostly thinking about you. So don't worry about that silly thing you said or did. Most people will forget. And since 2020 is such a challenging year, I'm giving you all free advice. Number 26. Make peace with the fact that life is never going to look the way you thought it would. Live it anyway. Well, I had a great time sharing some things you might want to consider learning by the time you hit 25. I hope you learned a thing or two about these things. And if you're already living your life guided by these things, then good for you. If you like this podcast, please consider subscribing so you can get updates on the upcoming episodes. Please follow me on social media, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram with the username @BernardesCan. This podcast will also be uploaded on YouTube, Buzzsprout, SoundCloud, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Just simply search for Undeterred by Ken. This is Ken, and thank you for listening to Undeterred.